Did you know that one of history's most influential figures hailed from the modest island of Corsica? Born in 1769, Napoleon Bonaparte's journey to greatness began in a place far removed from the grandeur of the French court. With the Mediterranean sun on his back and the rugged Corsican landscape under his feet, a young Napoleon learned the lessons of survival and ambition that would serve him well in the years to come. His thirst for knowledge and power led him to the mainland. In France, he embraced his education with a soldier's discipline, his mind as sharp as his sword. As he climbed the ranks of the French military, Napoleon demonstrated an uncanny knack for strategy and leadership, traits that would soon catapult him into the annals of history. From these humble beginnings, Napoleon was poised to leave an indelible mark on history. The birth of a legend had begun, and the world would never be the same. As France was consumed by revolution, Napoleon saw an opportunity. The late 1700s were a time of upheaval and change. The monarchy was overthrown, replaced by a republic that was soon engulfed in a reign of terror. Amidst the chaos, a young artillery officer from Corsica began to make his mark. His name was Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon's rise to power was nothing short of meteoric. His military genius was evident early on when he successfully repelled a royalist siege in Paris in 1795, saving the fledgling French Republic. This victory earned him instant fame and a promotion to general. However, it wasn't just his military prowess that set Napoleon apart. He was a master of political maneuvering. In a time when alliances shifted like sand and power was up for grabs, Napoleon's strategic acumen shone through. He navigated the treacherous waters of French politics with the same skill he used on the battlefield. In 1799, Napoleon staged a coup d'état, overthrowing the Directory, the government of France at the time. He replaced it with a new government, the Consulate, and named himself First Consul, effectively making him the ruler of France. This was a pivotal moment in Napoleon's rise to power. It marked his transition from military leader to political ruler. As First Consul, Napoleon implemented a series of reforms that stabilized the French economy and consolidated his power. He established the Bank of France, reformed the education system, and began work on what would become the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive set of civil laws. By the early 1800s, Napoleon was the undisputed ruler of France. His military victories had expanded French territory and influence across Europe. His political reforms had strengthened his hold on power at home. In the turmoil of revolution, Napoleon had seized power and set his sights on an empire. His rise was unprecedented, fueled by military brilliance and political savvy. But this was only the beginning. Napoleon Bonaparte, the ambitious young officer from Corsica, was now poised to become an emperor, leaving a mark on history that would endure for centuries to come. In 1804, Napoleon's ambition reached new heights. With a drive unquenched by the conquest of vast territories, he took another audacious step. In an extravagant ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of the French, a bold move that underscored his unyielding determination to reshape Europe in his image. But Napoleon was more than just a military tactician and power-hungry ruler. He was a visionary who understood the importance of a strong, centralized state. His reign ushered in a plethora of domestic reforms that would leave a lasting impact on France and indeed, the world. One of the most significant of these was the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal system that replaced the haphazard laws of the French Revolution. This code established equality before the law and secured the rights of property owners, principles that form the bedrock of legal systems around the world today. But that wasn't all. Napoleon revolutionized the French education system, setting up state-controlled schools to educate the masses and churn out a new generation of civic-minded citizens. He also established the Bank of France, which helped stabilize the French economy after years of revolutionary chaos. Under Napoleon's rule, infrastructure was improved and a sense of national identity was fostered. He oversaw the construction of roads, bridges, and canals which facilitated trade and communication across the nation. His reforms also extended to the arts and sciences, with the establishment of institutions like the Louvre Museum and the Paris Observatory. However, it would be a mistake to paint Napoleon as a benevolent reformer. His rule was marked by oppression and censorship. Dissent was not tolerated, and the press was heavily controlled. In his quest for order and efficiency, individual freedoms often took a backseat. Napoleon was not just a conqueror, he was a visionary reformer. His ambition and reforms, as controversial as they may be, played a pivotal role in shaping modern France and, to some extent, the world. The legacy of Napoleon Bonaparte, emperor, conqueror, and reformer, is a testament to the far-reaching influence of one man's audacious vision. Yet, even the greatest of empires can fall. Napoleon Bonaparte, the man who had risen from obscurity to become the Emperor of the French, was not immune to this universal truth. His meteoric rise would be matched by a rapid fall, one that began with a fatal misstep in the icy expanses of Russia. In 1812, Napoleon embarked on an audacious invasion of Russia, a campaign that would prove to be his undoing. With a vast army, he set out to conquer this formidable adversary, confident in his military brilliance. But the harsh Russian winter proved to be a formidable adversary in its own right. The Grande Armée, once the terror of Europe, was decimated not by battle, but by the brutal cold, lack of supplies, and disease. Yet Napoleon, ever the soldier, refused to accept defeat. He rallied what remained of his forces and fought on, but the tide had turned against him. The other European powers, sensing weakness, formed a coalition against him, and in 1815, at the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon met his final defeat. The man who had once held Europe in his grasp was now a captive. Exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, far from the grandeur of the imperial court, Napoleon was left to ponder the course of his extraordinary life. Here in this wind-swept corner of the Atlantic, he would spend the last 6 years of his life, his dreams of empire reduced to a distant memory. In 1821, Napoleon Bonaparte died, a prisoner on an island half a world away from his beloved France. Yet even in his final moments, he remained a figure of immense stature, a man whose ambition had reshaped the world. In his ambition, Napoleon had overreached, leading to his downfall and exile. But his story serves as a potent reminder of the transient nature of power and the enduring impact of a single, determined individual. Even in his fall, Napoleon Bonaparte remains a fascinating figure, a testament to the heights that one can reach and the depths to which one can fall. Defeated, but not forgotten, Napoleon's legacy endures. In the wake of his downfall, a new dawn had emerged, one that bore the imprints of his strategic genius, his legal reforms, and his political ambition. These elements continue to reverberate through the corridors of time, influencing the course of modern history and culture. Napoleon's military strategies were groundbreaking. He revolutionized warfare with his innovative use of mobility, speed, and tactical formations. His corps system, where large armies were divided into self-sufficient units, became a blueprint for future military campaigns. His emphasis on artillery, combined with his ability to inspire his troops, resulted in victories that are still studied in military academies today. Napoleon's strategies didn't just win battles, they changed the way the world waged war. Yet the battlefield was not the only arena where Napoleon left his mark. His legal reforms, known as the Napoleonic Code, revolutionized law and order. This comprehensive set of civil laws established the principles of equality before the law, secularism, and the protection of civil liberties. Today, the Napoleonic Code forms the backbone of many legal systems around the world, a testament to its enduring influence. Napoleon's political ambition, too, had long-lasting effects. His rise to power during a time of revolutionary turmoil transformed France from a monarchy to a republic, and then to an empire under his rule. His imperial ambitions reshaped Europe, altering its political landscape. Even in defeat, Napoleon's influence persisted, inspiring future leaders and revolutionaries. Beyond his military, legal, and political contributions, Napoleon's cultural impact is also significant. From literature and film to art and popular culture, references to Napoleon abound. He remains a symbol of ambition, genius, and the human capacity for both greatness and folly. His life, his victories, and his defeats continue to captivate us, offering lessons in leadership, strategy, and the human condition. In the end, Napoleon Bonaparte was more than just a military genius or a reformer. He was a force of nature that reshaped the world in his image. His impact extended beyond the borders of his empire and the span of his life. Long after his death, his influence continues to be felt in the strategies of generals, the laws of nations, and the spirit of revolutionaries. Napoleon Bonaparte, a revolutionary, a conqueror, and a visionary whose legacy continues to shape our world. His story reminds us that individuals can change the course of history and that their influence can endure, even when their empires fall. Napoleon's legacy is a testament to the power of ambition, the pursuit of greatness, and the indomitable spirit of humanity.